Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Brawl Showmatch presented by Metafy. I'm your host, Lawler, joined by the one and only Kronovi. I figured if we're going to start doing this, we might as well do it right. And why not bring out literally the GOAT of content to be? Kronovi, how you doing, man?
Dude, doing good. I'm just excited to watch these teams play for $1,000. They're going to be putting, basically it would be their scrims on display. And, they played each other a lot. And so this will be a good test to see, who's going to really be popping off in the regional this weekend.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a break due to the Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, whatever people want to equate it to. The exciting thing is the fact that we are getting the ability to provide some insight. I think something that's unique to the Rocket League scene that we don't really get insight on is how these guys play, how they prepare, what actually goes into the behind the scenes stuff, what do coaches actually do. And hopefully this allows us to get like one step closer to that, whether it be for future tense, the ability to possibly take a look at, I don't know, what stuff is going into during the prep up to a major or things like that. Hopefully we get players more willing to showcase their perspectives on this. Part of the reason why we can do this, though, is by Metafy. If you guys do not know what Metafy is, massive shout outs to them. They're the people sponsoring this. They are a one-on-one coaching website. If you guys have never checked them out, I highly recommend doing so. But you can use code RL25 up to tomorrow if you would like to book a coaching session with some of your favorite coaches, people well known in the Rocket League community. If you are trying to get better and improve, and they have a lot of really cool tools, the ability to upload a replay and get timestamps with comments and telestration on your actual replays. Things and tools like that that they provide that are absolutely fantastic. So again, shout outs to Metafy. You can check them out at metafy.gg. Use code RL25 for the ability to get 25% off your first coaching session. Highly recommend checking them out. They've been absolutely fantastic. So because then we have $1,000 to give to these players, winner take all. It is going to be a straight up best of 7, everybody. It is Rogue, Spacestation, Aqua versus Daniel. Former teammates, technically, in Corrupted G and Chrome, I guess, if we want to go way back to like EG days. They're going to be hanging out as well. So I'm going to tell these guys that they can test the lobby. The guys are in. They're just kind of getting antsy. They're doing the whole fireworks show. If you guys have never seen that, where you join a lobby, Crow, I know you've experienced that many times where someone
now you don't
jumps
have to
the gun
do that anymore. Technically, they actually fixed it. It only took a few years before we didn't have to spam change team. Thankfully,
yeah. Before we had like the ability to do like server commands where like you could pause, reset from kickoff and stuff like that. If you didn't have that capability, like people would have to join and like delay the server from actually starting and stuff. So it is awesome to see that things are getting to the point that some tools are being provided, trying to communicate with the players.
Lawler, they're saying that they don't even need a test. They just want to get into it. I don't know if you saw.
If they want
they want to go immediately. They don't want to wait. They want to get the show on the road.
All right, fine. Let's jump into the gameplay. fine. These guys are trying to scrim. These guys are trying to do their thing. So like, let's just jump into it. And what better way to jump into it than Rogue already up by 2?
Yeah, there was a bit of a kickoff goal for Aqua at the beginning. But 12 seconds in or 18 seconds in, SSG can easily tie this game.
So I guess, Crow, obviously you've been around the block a little bit, to say the least. A couple things you're looking forward to. If you are a person of talent here, obviously the focus is on the 2 young guns, the difference makers in Daniel and Aqua. But outside of that, is there any key things you really want to pay attention to?
I actually think, Daniel and Aqua are obviously the very big focuses for making plays on the ball and like the person you really want to give the ball to for your team. But you give more opportunities to your star players by like working together and following up stuff really well. So like I'm looking at Taroko and Gyro. I'm looking at Reddles and Arsenal. I mean, Taroko here is just, he's so ready to follow up, their star player. So I'm really looking at them to where they move the ball, how they move the ball, when they challenge. And I think both Rogue and SSG do a good job at giving like Aqua or Daniel like space to do things with the ball and just cover their weaknesses.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how things play out, and a lot of it has just been all offense, and that should have been a goal from Gyro. Obviously, Daniel, like you said, doing the in and out, trying to drop down and get in front of it, but Again, placement left side probably would have been available, but a lot of pressure coming from the Rogue squad. It was something that I think many of us agree on Rogue was really struggling with after they lost First Killer. They had to bring about this new identity, this how are we going to get people to play offense? Because it used to just be First Killer, feed them the rock. And I think for the first time, especially for Gyro, he's getting to play that main role. He's the guy that is going to be very, very specifically trying to create offense for his team. And now they bring in help with Aqua. They're getting some different looks at it. And you're still haven't talking about Taroko, which, again, a player with a lot of talent. So it is exciting to see this team evolve. I still think it's going to take a little bit of time, but already in conversations of top 6, top 8, when in the past it's like, are we getting out of qualifiers? What's going to happen here? So you're seeing a huge contrast already. And I mean, the same thing applies for Space Station. Dominant fall. It's been looking pretty good. Daniel and the guys are stepping up, man. It's good to see this out of rookies already.
Yeah, Daniel definitely proved any doubters wrong with his ability to just show up to like an RLCS match and still play exactly the same as he does everywhere else. You know, it's almost like he's immune to nerves. And I think definitely the veterancy in Arsenal and Rebels, you know, they've been in the scene, you know, taking championships and winning plenty. So he's got a lot of backup on the mentality front, I think, and that's probably, I think, why SSG are having this massive resurgence. I think their mental is just revitalized when they picked up Daniel.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I got the chance to sit down and talk with Chrome when he and I had a discussion about like seeding and stuff like that, and like, yo, what are your thoughts on the new format? And in the midst of that conversation, he provided a lot of insight about the reason why Sypical was let go and what their focus is with Daniel. And a lot of it was just make him feel comfortable. You know, we want to make sure that no matter the situation, he's got support and that he's able to just kind of thrive off of 2 veteran players that have been doing it for a long time. And it's awesome to see. If you guys don't have the chance to, or haven't had the chance to, go take some time to look at some of these comm videos these guys are putting out. You can see just how adamant some of these rosters are about trying to do everything they can to build up their teammates. You see the same thing with when Comm came into version 1 and what he had with Gimmick and Torment. So grid and field pass clear is going to be slotted in by Gyro, and so far it's been nothing but offense for Rogue.
Yeah, just, again, very quick follow-ups out of these passes from the corner. This time it's Taroko to Gyro. Aqua is just, you know, he made a solo play, rotated out, and he can rely on his teammates to make passing plays. And I think that's really like the new Rogue style. They're really more involved with like getting the ball to each other. They play closer to each other. And I think the big thing on game day for them is just minimizing double commits and kind of like over committing too much. But, you know, when they have a bit more space and less of a pressure game like in their scrims, I bet it looks like very clean. I bet they apply a lot of pressure like this.
Yeah, I know social media wise, a lot of people are like, yo, Lawler, why the extra steps just to give Space Station money? And it's like, I think you guys are sleeping on Rogue a little bit. Like, there's a level of respect. And I'm curious from your perspective too, Kenobi, like insight into scrims. It feels like NA doesn't really scrim the teams below them. EU is wide open. Any team will finish any team. Doesn't matter if you're top 16, top 20, or top 2. Most of the times that teams tend to play against everybody. But in North America, it seems like there's a pretty select group. Like, unless there's garnered, like, respect, it just doesn't happen. Can you provide some insight into that?
Yeah, I definitely feel like you kind of have to make a name for yourself and make a result or, like, you know, pop off to really get teams to scrim you. I think because I do think NA tends to be a little bit top heavy in terms of talent, with the same teams kind of always placing around the top 4.
What a shot.
Oh, unfortunate own goal. So that can be a thing. And maybe that's why, you know, some of these bubble teams in NA take longer to step up, because they don't really get to play against like your SSGs, your NRGs, your G2s a whole lot. I also just think top NA teams, they know what play styles they want to practice against, and those teams are already in their scrim calendar. You know, they don't need to play the same type of team for different times. They can just play the same team with the same play style, because that team's probably going to make it to the point on the bracket, right?
Yeah, I think it's, again, it's good to see that the effectiveness is, I guess, what you want to say coming into play, right? Like, hey, we know what we're playing up against this weekend. Who has similar play style to them? Because there is definitely some defining to that, where you do have teams that are starting to build identities or like things that you can get accustomed to. So it is nice that some of these teams are just straight up being like, hey, like, you play similar to them. Can we scrim you guys? And they scrim that stuff 2 weeks out in advance. So there's a lot of scheduling stuff with this that is starting to come into play. I mean, Jazzo obviously also recently saying goodbye, talking about how that stuff wasn't a thing when he came in season 3, you know? So it has evolved a lot behind the scenes, and the fact that for someone like myself who's been watching this since day one, seeing the fact that teams are willing to scrim publicly on display for people to watch, like the public, everybody here in chat, like this is stuff that was a pipe dream for us back in the day.
Oh yeah, this would never happen. You know, players would never want their stream or their scrims publicized, really. And now it's like content for everybody. You get to like get a sneak peek at, you know, how a team is looking, and it's just a real treat now that, you know, scrims in general have evolved this much.
Is there anything for you, Crow, that you're still waiting on? Any things that you're like, God, I wish we still did this?
No, not really. I mean, I remember back in the day, I think we were one of the first teams that really wanted to like put scrims out there in the public, and then it got a lot of backlash the way we did it, and so it just kind of fell to the wayside. But now it's honestly just really cool. But one of my favorite things that isn't RLCS content is actually watching streams like this, where you get to just watch scrims, and also the players get to like do scrims that are a bit more there's more on the line, right? There's actually more at stake, so they get that feeling of nerves. They get to practice that, you know, playing under pressure. So I think it's an even better scrim for teams that accept opportunities like this.
Yeah, a lot of credit to all the teams, and for those that want a little bit more insight, right now we're kind of just doing a feeler. Again, massive shout outs to Metafy. This is kind of a proving ground. The fact that you guys are here, the fact that you guys are watching, is going to hopefully provide love back to Metafy, and then they say, hey, we want to keep enabling this community, and we can hopefully do these more in the future. And again, pretty much every top 8, top 10 RLCS team. Oh, gosh, pressure from Spacestation immediately after one game. But all these teams are eager to do this stuff. So hopefully a lot of these to come in the future. But again, never know. So again, if you guys want more information on Metafy, !Metafy in the chat, because then we're able to put this on. But you're talking about like kind of just like good vibes in general. I mean, Kenobi, full circle for me, man. I remember casting Pulsar Premier League Funnable Carpets old tournament back in the day, and it was Vex versus iBuyPower, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of names in here that I am a fan of, and it's just crazy for me. You know, we're looking what 6-7 years later now. We're just kind of hanging out, like talking like two chums. It's like, what? Oh my goodness, what is my life? Dude, these rookies on fire,
we get to, you know, watch Aqua just put some mechanics on display. Oh, Reddles, does he have this? Oh. Players are getting so good at that as well, just being able to put in a ball from just about any angle if it's open.
Yeah, I have a very limited experience of playing with people at this level due to being awful, but there has been a few times, like I remember when First Killer was like the sought after rookie, and queued some doubles with him, and I could literally just hit it as hard as I wanted towards the ceiling, and he'd find a way to score. And it was like the most ridiculous feeling, knowing that it does not matter, they will find a way.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the best players in the world of this game are capable of just carrying the weight of like up to 2 players. You know, they just make it work no matter what. They see the game a certain way. They have tons of practice.
These young kids, man, it's just, I don't know what it is about confidence. I mean, I remember, yeah, when Seiko came in and Endpoint was having their performance too, it was the same thing. I'm like, how is this young guy so confident in every challenge and every play? Like, he's break checking pros that have been in the scene for like 3 years, and it's like, who does this kid think he is? And it's just, they don't have that like gravity to it. Ooh. Nice flip reset, Daniel. That's a tough challenge too on the back line.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel gets a floating ball in midfield, and it honestly doesn't look like Daniel's going to get that much power on the flip reset. At that angle, it's so tough to get it correctly. Sometimes you end up jumping off the ball, or your flip reset just kind of like dies on the ball. And so Gyro thinks he can challenge, but even in a suboptimal setup, Daniel still gets a pretty powerful flip reset.
Something out of nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, God.
I feel like Spacestation is still warming up. You know, I've seen a few moments, and I'm like, is that no way? I feel like they would hit that.
Obviously we have a lot of focus on like Daniel and stuff, but then you see like,
whoa, there it is. Yeah, they're warm now.
I'm like, of course Daniel's gonna hit some stuff, but then you're like, all right, Reddles, what do you got? All right, he's flipping around, he's about to hit something. You see Arsenal coming in and hit this. It's like, all right, man, fine, we get it. Rogue won the first one, but you guys can have number 2.
Yeah, this game looks like it's going to be a little tough for Rogue to make a stand in this one. They've had a decent amount of opportunities in the counterattack because Aqua's or Gyro's looking for air dribble bump. SSG have just kind of covered the net, and you know they've been pretty okay. I mean, both teams look fine on boost as well. You've seen plenty of opportunities for like Aqua here. I mean, Gyro almost had an insane double touch as well. So I think SSG are just being a bit more clinical in this game too.
I think my favorite thing about watching Rocket League develop nowadays is how much more situational awareness that players have. Like even there on Aqua, you know, he's going for a touch. Most times they would either throw that at the net or play across field and hope for a pass. But he's like, okay, in this split second, I know there's two defenders both in perfect space. Let me just kill it. Go for a back pass. Good follow up and a demo. Still saved by Aqua. And then the follow up
by Daniel.
Spacestation is just lethal, man.
Yeah, it's like you almost feel bad for the goalies. Like, what are they supposed to do?
Well, it's crazy. Like, you're still committing, which in itself is a risk. And even still after that, you have follow up for another shot. Back right into rotation and up by 4. And a lot of people, like we said, even in the poll that we put out, pretty heavily in favor of Spacestation here. But again, it's about those adjustments, and a lot of teams also changing up their play style as well. You see it a lot out of NRG and a couple other rosters that are starting to leave that third person back really, really deep, just so they can make sure that they don't concede to teams that are deemed lesser than them. It's just more of like a safety blanket, which I'm kind of curious on your take on it, especially against the EU that is nonstop go, go, go. If that's going to have like a lasting impact where it's like, okay, we're playing this third man back super far, and this is how we don't concede to teams below than us. But are you going to be able to sustain pressure against teams because you are providing a little bit extra space in the midfield?
Yeah, I think when you play your third that far away and you play overly safe, what you're telling the other team is we are relying on you to make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a matter of, you know, who's going to make a mistake first. And I don't know. They're trying to score this. It's not over yet.
I don't know if you saw that approach. Like, Aqua plays it up, Gyro comes in to take it, and then Aqua comes in again and goes for a flip reset. And if he doesn't get dunked, they actually might have got that.
Oh, it's on the goal line. But yeah, I think that playing overly defensive is definitely something you can really only do against teams you know are going to make mistakes and like give you an open net, or, you know, they might have a dribble opportunity and they have a 1v1 with your third who's too far away to challenge, but they end up just throwing the ball away, right? They'll throw away possession, or they won't have boost, or they just won't make that clutch solo play on your third. I do feel like it's like a respect thing. You know, if teams think they can get away with it on you, they'll do it. But as a general play style, I think the meta has shifted towards playing faster and faster and just being on the ball. And you look at a lot of these like mechanical players that are in the scene now, as long as they're on the ball, they can do something with it and play it around people without losing possession. And so you need to be able to do that all the time. Otherwise, you're just going to give up, like, even if you give up a 1v1 temporarily, like that sets up something as easy as an air dribble bump, and the players that are consistent at it are going to get a guaranteed goal.
Yeah, it's just the ability to extend the play, right? Like, there's so many times where it's like, all right, there's a 50 coming, and we're going to lose it. Coming back to camera with you, Crow, because Daniel looks like he DC'd, but we'll jump back into it in a second. Yeah, like, there is that, like, thought process of, okay, like, if I don't get this flip reset, it's a 50 for them, they get it the other way, but then all of a sudden the guy gets underneath it, he scoops it, and it extends it back onto offense, and it's a transition. It's just those little mechanical things that make and break, like, the pressure that's being applied to them, and every player now just makes it look effortless. Like, every single player has the ability to hit something, and as much as people want to, like, flame turbo and stuff, like, the guy's hitting, like, double flip resets and stalls in training now. Like, the mechanical effort is there. As someone like yourself, you know, who is there part of, like, the season 2, season 3, like, speed shift of the meta, where everybody just, like, amped it up. Like, it is now not something that people are allowed to get away with out. Like, you have to have that capability.
Yeah, you really don't want to be the weak link on your team. If you want to, like, play on this RLCS pitch. Oh my goodness, Reddles almost just drove past everybody without jumping. You have to adapt to the meta and really, like, play with it. You know, you can't let stuff
What a bully.
go by. Oh, it's pass open middle.
Bang.
This is the counterattack I'm talking about with Rogue. They have this potential now just because they look for each other so much, and they really have stopped giving the ball away on defense for free, which I think is a big reason why like SSG do a great job with rebounds. And Rogue just have to be careful not to give the ball up. And then they'll get shot chances like this. I mean, it's Daniel and net though.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really insightful things about it. Primarily the fact that you just have to find a way to sustain. I mean, a lot of people look at energy as the primary focus, right? This is the team that shows that even against insane pressure, their defense can carry them. In a game that is heavily focused on offense and putting shots and applying pressure, denying boost and getting demos, primarily a team that is able to sustain it on defense. And obviously they succumb to the whole bump demo heavy everybody meta too, but a lot of teams are focusing on them, and it's like, how have you guys stayed so consistent? And a lot of it has to do with their defense and the rotation. It's insane.
Yeah, they've just like great first touches as well. They very rarely hit the ball like where they don't want it to go, right? Like they know they have to make a touch, but even their desperation touches are something they can follow up. And I think it's just like they have really good habits, and it's super underrated to have good defensive habits. It just means that even in the highest pressure scenarios, they make the right play.
Well, 2 minutes gone by in game 3, and pretty neutral field. That's what we were expecting about game 3. Obviously, pretty usual, a heavy swing one way, and then a team responds. I didn't think it was gonna be like a 4-0 response, but
yeah, it was quite a strong answer from SSG, but Rogue have quelled the goal scoring for now. They seem to be just kind of playing the midfield.
For now, what are you trying to say, Crow? What do you mean for now?
Hey, look, all I'm saying is SSG are a team that definitely aren't just going to like lay down. You know, they would love to be pressuring constantly. It's definitely on Rogue to like play this midfield, which I think they're doing a great job of. That's why they haven't been scored on. They are meeting SSG to every ball.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. I mean, you saw what happens when they get even a little bit of space. Everybody's going to hit a flip reset or something crazy.
Someone's going to go bump you. Like you don't want to be sitting still staring at the ball. It means you're going to get demoed by Reddles at Arsenal.
Yeah, it's like you see this air dribble from Daniel flying across, but you forget while your eyes are up top, you know, someone's headhunting down below.
Yeah, nowhere is safe. The safest play is to just go for the ball, honestly.
Even then, good luck. Yeah, a lot of offense coming in here from Spacestation now. You're talking about the ability to win some of these challenges, and eventually they do break out, but for how long? Hopefully they can deny a clear here too. It's a shot opportunity. And Taroko
off the corner.
What a beautiful shot. It looked like that one possibly would have bounced out, but it ends up going in.
Yeah, and he's just in a great position. You know, he trusts that Gyro's going to get this middle, and oh man, that is a very tight angle. He had to be there so quickly. There was like 3 pixels off to the left, and it doesn't go in.
I think it's really commendable too. Like, you're seeing the follow-up again from Rogue. It's something that I've been waiting to see how well they're going to get in sync with each other, and that one's just a great effort. Reddle's just recognizing it's open.
Yeah, I mean, this rolls off the kickoff. Aqua cheated up pretty hard, but that ball's not going to him. I think he almost made it. He almost got the pinch off the wall. I don't know if he's already going supersonic, so wall dashing is probably not going to help him.
I mean, it looks cool.
It does. Imagine if he makes a save while wall dashing, even if it's not necessary.
Well, then it's necessary. It has to be style points.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel going for such a light flip reset. That was so delicate. I swear he doesn't miss a single flip reset.
The only other person I know that doesn't miss a single flip reset is Alpha. So, because I don't think in my years of watching Alpha play, I don't think I've ever seen him miss one he goes for, ever.
Yeah, and you would think by now people would have it figured out. Like if it's something a player only goes for, like, oh, he's just gonna flip reset. It's kind of the same thing I think in personal experience with like Zipical. When he starts an air dribble, I'm like, oh, of course, he always does this. But like, I just never have the read on it. Like the way some people do things is just very special.
Yeah.
And
yes, Chad, Alpha 54.
They're very creative.
I was throwing up 1,000 points in a lobby.
Oh, bumps by Reddles.
They're actually gonna get away with that.
Yeah, that looked a bit dicey, but SSG have the lead. They're being very reserved. You know, they know they don't have to overcommit for anything. I think they are respecting the potential of the Rogue counterattack.
Yeah, and there's that third man being patient from Gyro. Obviously, you can't follow in because even if he 50s it, it's not going to do anything. But again, just sitting back waiting for the play to develop. So an opportunity here, try to pass that back inside. It's actually a shot.
Yeah, Aqua's had a few chances on the ball. His flip resets have looked very good. He's gone for, I think, twice now in this series. A pre-flip off the wall into a flip reset. And if you get the right setup with that, it's near unstoppable.
Well, final 5 seconds and possession still in favor of Rogue. Got to find a good touch, but Daniel with plenty of boost. So can bring this one over the top. He's got a flip reset possibly, and it's going to go in again. No one challenging and no space. It's just too much. He's got so much time in the air, and for Aqua, it's either he gets bumped or goes for the challenge. Either way, the score at 0 seconds. Well done by Spacestation. Put them up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah, just a very controlled game from Spacestation all the way through. I mean, this game was 0-0 for like over half of the game, and SSG just stayed consistent. And you know, if you watch the last 30 seconds, you'd think SSG were just in control the whole time. But Rogue had plenty of chances, and I'm willing to bet that they might get some chances to answer back and tie this series up.
Yeah, I think what's the biggest thing for you that that Rogue needs to do? Anything particular that you're kind of sticking at?
I think I'm really liking how much Taroko is following stuff up. I think I just want to see them maybe, once they get possession, to take maybe one extra touch, just dribble it a little bit more. I see occasionally a little bit of boomer ball from Rogue, but also Aqua is going for some really, really big highlight flip resets. And maybe it might just be too much. Maybe he should delegate just a little bit, since he does have that support behind him. So that might be it. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I think they got to find a way to control that boost game. It's just there's so much pressure. And with all those demos and stuff, obviously they're expending a lot. So finding a way to kind of lock that down. A solo play here and there is great. And Aqua's done some incredible recoveries to keep the offense going. But got to find a way to get these defenders on Spacestation to respect it. So big clear over here to Arsenal. Possible double touch. And he's going to put it underneath. It's effortless.
I mean, it just pinches out of the corner, and Arsenal gets the quick read, and that first touch sets him up for just a great double touch. And around the defender as well. He has to shoot it low because Aqua's pre-jumping high.
A lot faster this time around, Crow. A goal in the first minute. As Rogue gets it off the kickoff, trying to go underneath with the flip reset. Doesn't connect. And challenge immediately by Spacestation Gaming as they put it back in the blue half. Play to the corner. Arsenal just trying to float down. He's got 12 boost and is going to get some help on the backup. Again, that third man in Daniel recognizing, hey, I've got 2 players committed. One still has to rotate back. I've got low boost. Let's go for a solo play. Plenty of time given, and now they're back on offense with plenty of boost to go. That one off the backboard, and Arsenal's going to find a 50 it in. That's a tough one, too, because you have a player underneath trying to make a save, but minimal boost. Can't get the clear.
Yeah, Rogue they were stuck kind of awkward in net. They weren't able to maintain like momentum. I think they were also sitting in net without a lot of like rotating around the net. And it was just one bad touch out of the corner that Reddles immediately picked up on. I think a big thing was, the bump in the air. When Daniel had his solo play, he realized that Rogue just weren't going for the ball. So he just opted into a bunch of 50-50s right in front of the goal line.
He's got plenty of boost for this.
Like this too. Okay, what a save by Taroko. This backboard needs to get covered up quickly, otherwise this game might get out of hand.
Yeah, again, with Space Station, it doesn't matter if it's high or low. Guys can go out there and get it. So a little bit urgency here from Rogue, seeing if they can find a way. Immediately cleared off the backboard. It's a big downfield counterattack. And straight back in, trying to make it awkward. And what a redirect by Daniel.
How does he get this around both of the Rogue goalies? Oh my goodness.
He just parks. He's like, yeah, I'm confident here.
Well, now what do you do if you're Rogue?
Cry. Curled in a ball. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, this game is SSG on display right now.
That was nasty. I think it's cool that even after all these years of playing Rocket League, you still have like super genuine reactions to the game being played at a high level, Crow. I mean, you've seen it all.
Yeah, but every goal is different, even if it's the same type of goal. Oh my goodness. Another double for Arsenal.
Oh, man. Again, it's just these long clears and Arsenal's just waiting. His first touch is just so stellar.
Yeah, SSG might have the read on where Rogue are positioning their third and sending the ball like high opposite that position. It's just preventing Rogue from being able to cut these plays off that are starting from like just behind SSG's midfield. They just don't have any of these passes cut off. Oh my goodness, split free. No way.
All right, Gyro, you got a one-on-one. Make it count, man.
Right, with the early challenge. Just he reads it. He's not afraid to go. He's got support coming in soon.
Yeah, there's a lot of confidence behind it. I mean, if you want to kind of talk detail about how that all applies, the ability to just say, hey, I've got people coming, I need to challenge here, kind of the risk reward with it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have somebody rotating in fairly quickly, you kind of want to put your challenge in. If you wait too long, then you have 2 people on the goal line and neither of them really have a good read on the ball. But if you go, it makes it easier for your teammate behind you. Sometimes you don't have that luxury and you kind of just have to send it. And that just depends on if you feel like mixing it up or not. Rogue aren't giving up yet. 1:30, Taroko gets the goal.
Yeah,
Arsenal is passing off of the backboard.
I'm centering.
Yeah.
Yeah, unique chance. Like, obviously he's going back to his own wall. He could probably play that and then go off the ceiling, which makes a really easy read for the challenge, but at least you get a 50 out of it. I don't know if he wanted to play that back across to the corner. So slight mistake, but they got quite a bit of wiggle room here.
Oh man.
Get a flip reset on that too. Gosh.
And that's just that's the thing. It's slowly becoming like easier and easier for players to like find these positions to pre-flip into the ball for their flip reset. And if you aren't sending somebody to go for that ball, you are just at the mercy of whoever's on the ball. You know? Oh, is that in the top corner? It's gonna find its way in. Yeah, I don't know if this game is a comeback winnable. You know?
Which is tough because it puts Spacestation on match point. You're just seeing Spacestation ultimately do what they want. And when you're down bad like that for Rogue, it's like the mental side of things too. This is where like Corrupted G is coming into play. But at the same time, you just want to find a goal. You know, get some sort of confidence. And right now, the only one that they really have is off the mistake from Arsenal when he was getting kind of loosey-goosey with it on his backboard. So will be interesting to see if they can find something back. And there's been moments for sure. There's times where, you know, hey, they're able to bring it back down the other way. But credit to Spacestation, immediate counterattack, or it's an immediate clear. They haven't been able to sustain it for Rogue on the orange half. So gonna have to find something, find a way to, again, create some of these challenges, and some durable plays on the low ground is going to allow them to break out in the last 25 seconds. If you're Rogue, you're just hoping for one more goal before this ends. And unfortunately, Spacestation's defense holding up pretty strong.
Yeah, I think I really would, you know, this last minute or so, kind of like whatever for Rogue. And I think going into the next game, they'll be on match point. But they really need to try something new. I think this game really proved that SSG are way too comfortable. And this is definitely where, you know, if we had timeouts or something like that, you'd have a lot more time to talk about how you want to mix things up or maybe get SSG out of their rhythm.
Yeah, I think that's difficult too. And obviously it's a scrim, but that's kind of the focus too, is with the pressure that comes from it. You know, not always are you going to have a timeout. I mean, they don't implement timeouts until, you know, best of 7 stuff. So
right.
The difficulty is like these do and are real circumstances. Obviously, best of 5 would technically be over already, but the chance to still bounce back, you know, hey, we're going to save our timeout until, you know, it's game 6 or whatever it may be. That's kind of the real focus here. So I'm ultimately looking at Corrupted G, trying to formulate, okay, they're kind of everywhere, guys. They're doing everything we want. Do we need to demo somebody to slow down their rotation a little bit? Do we want to put a little bit of extra emphasis on like denying a boost on the other side? Like, how do we want to approach this? I think a lot of it does start, though, with demo and rotation. That third man coming back has to find somebody. Not that Spacestation is easy to do with that. They are always moving.
Yeah, and you just want to get them to move like somewhere else, like somewhere not optimal. I think the reason SSG are doing so well, but they're just booming the ball around Rogue players because they know that someone on SSG is going to follow that ball up before a Rogue player would, just because I think SSG are moving a bit faster right now. But I'm interested to see if Rogue end up playing even more defensively to really try to bait out like an overcommit from SSG and then you know, counterattack, get the lead and hold the lead that way, or if they just start playing hyper aggro, because I definitely think they need to pick one or the other.
Yeah, the complacency or like kind of the middle of the ground isn't going to work. You have to go like extremes one way or the other. And again, there's a lot of risks that come with both. I mean, you talk about playing hyper aggressive, the same thing can happen. If your touches aren't there, domino effect, it falls apart. It's an easy counterattack. And Space Station's been doing already a phenomenal job of that. That is so unfortunate for Taroko.
Yeah, he's all alone, and it's going to this backboard again, you know, a one challenge in the midfield, and it's just such an awkward read to be making, and you know you have to touch it before it comes back down, because somebody on SSG is going to be ready to score that.
It's difficult too. Like, he's rotating back down middle of field, and those two boost pads for the 24 boost are something he desperately needs. But if he takes that angle of approach, he's not going to be able to like play it to corner where it's safe. So it's like risk. There's not a whole lot you can do. There's that demo on rotation I was looking for from Taroko, and again, hopefully some boost secure here. And as long as they deny a clear one more time. So big touch here that's important for Gyro.
And Gyro gets a
great
chance.
Play. That's a great play from Gyro. Slowing it down and going for the solo play is super important.
Rogue still need to keep this ball in, though. They need somebody to finish this.
Yeah, where's the shot?
Everyone went for mid boost.
Who's great on the ball sometimes, but on that one...
What a save by Gyro.
Run, Gyro, run!
The other way, too.
Throw him in, hurry!
Rogo just needs a pinch middle.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, Aqua's got the shot, though.
Okay. Whew, whew.
There we go.
We got a game, chat. We got a game. It's fine. It's fine. Couple opportunities there, Crow. I was a little worried.
Yeah, there's I definitely think Rogue still needs a little bit more time before their plays become like super crisp and consistent. They're like 90% there, I feel like, and when they're having like a really on day, you know, they're fighting for like #1 in their group. Like last regional, they had to go to a tiebreaker with NRG for 1 seed of their group, and that was where, you know, they looked very consistent, and they were basically like always sinking like opportunities like that. So that's the potential of this team for sure. Yeah,
again, a lot of people came in with like, obviously Rogue is the underdog here. You know, they barely qualified in Regional 3, you know, which was, you know, if you're a fan of Rogue HQ with Spaceman, your heart as a fellow Game 5, Game 7er with V1, I know how you feel. It's not ideal on the heart, but you saw the contrast to that in Regional 2. They show up when it matters, and it's one of those teams that I look at that at any given point, you cannot take them lightly. They will surprise. Game 1, I think, was a prime example of this is what happens when our follow-up is there, our rotations are clean. We will throw something in mid, and we will have someone there to punish. And they do catch a lot of teams off guard because of it. So it is good to see that they are playing a bit more aggressive here. A lot of offense finally for them. So it looks like they have gone the more aggressive route, and they're pairing it with a lot of bumps and demos. You even see Aqua going up on that back wall just to bump somebody. As this one pinches across, Troko's going to have to turn back in and hopefully stop a clear, which he does.
Yeah, SSG have just been waiting for their opportunity to get a free clear. Rogue have attacked pretty much every ball, and they haven't always been able to get a follow-up. But these dribbles and these plays out of the midfield have been very good. Just getting the ball past SSG members, force them to rotate. SSG are stuck stacking net right now.
What a save. Yeah, these are the ones that are important, and the big difference there is the fact that Daniel's able to snag that corner boost. Again, just a little bit able to play bully and get back up to this one. Doesn't touch the redirect, but still pressure alleviated from the Space Station half. No boost pickup by Aqua, but with the bump,
he got bumped into the pass.
All part of the plan.
Oh, I like the idea by Jar there to try to take his time. He knows they're on the counter attack, but Rattles just ends up getting a piece of the ball.
Yeah, you talked about the emphasis of those solo dribble plays, you know, keeping it grounded, giving him some options. It's been working out, but a solo play off the back. Oh, what a save.
And it's in the other way.
No way.
Oh, my goodness.
Essentially a 2-goal swing here. My God.
It's one of those that just looks like it's going in. Like, you watch it, you're watching Daniel get the flipper set into the air dribble. You're like, oh, yeah, nice. It starts the cross halfway through. You keep moving up the field, and then it's cleared on the side you're not moving up to. And it's just a heartbreaker for SSG.
Those are tough. But Rogue's going to take whatever they can get. Either way, good save, and he throws it out to Gyro, who's able to put it on target. So up by 1 here is Rogue, trying to stay alive in the series, as Space Station is on match point, and a lot of aggression here in these final 25 seconds. A lot of teams tend to turtle and sit back and play passive, and sometimes it can give some opportunities to offenses, but whenever they can, apply the pressure and win these challenges. Is Daniel in the corner? Spamming faking. And it's working out. Big air dribble, going to kill a lot of time. Can he get the flip reset? No, it's challenged by Arsenal. And a big clear. Up to Daniel off the side wall. He's going to have to pre-flip for it, but it's intercepted. And into the midfield.
Was two rogue players.
There's two rogue players. It's soft touching. Good save. It's not over yet, though.
Oh, is it down? Oh, he ran out of boost.
Ooh.
That was close. You know, I was going to say for SSG, if you're playing against them and the clock starts to hit 0 seconds, you need to demo Daniel or take his boost, because I swear he scores more 0-second goals than any RLCS player. Like, he scored more 0-second goals in his first season as other people have lifetime, I swear. Yeah, what we're going to end up doing is there's going to be like a Daniel montage for the RLCS first season as a rookie when he comes in. And it's not even going to be like his insane flip resets or this and that. It's just 0-second goals. That's all it is. It's just a compilation of that, because he has had so many. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check out Reddle's YouTube channel. He actually provides a lot of insight about how clutch Daniel is and like what's exciting about seeing someone like that. And he provides insight of what it's like to be in the comms during that. Really cool stuff. So shout outs to Reddles and his YouTube and the content he's trying to provide, not only just as a content creator, but also as a pro player. So kind of bridging that gap. So make sure you guys go check those out. Pretty cool stuff all around. Either way, jumping in here to game 6. Spacestation trying to close it out, give themselves $1,000 as the Rogue fights to stay alive. Good adjustments though there, Crow, in game 5, especially towards that tail end. We got what we were looking for. They held on. They were getting they started the game off with lots of counterattack chances. They did manage to convert their pressure, so things are looking better for Rogue. And with SSG losing, in that fashion, they kind of just lost by overcommitting. I wonder if that's going to make them a little more timid in this game, since they kind of don't want to give up another goal like that again. Yeah, you wonder if it's like, all right, hey guys, I worked this time, but be a bit more reserved, or if they continue with that, because again, it can be punished really heavily, and that is one way to be aggressive. Redos has the right idea too, to slow it down and force a 50, but Aqua wins it out. I mean, he's literally flying from net, just staying high. Like, I know you see me, I know you can see me, but like, this is what I'm gonna do. It's like telling somebody in rock paper scissors you're gonna throw rock, and then they just walk into it. It's. You're telling me Aqua watches anime, huh? It's like, you watch anime? Yeah, I'm throwing rock. Wait, what? Right. Why is he telling? He's in your head, man. He's in your head. What a flick. It's a good save by Arsenal, and he recovers off the backboard for another touch. Rogue are still looking. Oh, the net's left open? I don't know if he felt like someone was behind him. So yeah, I wonder who said they were going for this. Maybe Reddle just doesn't see gyro in time. The ball did come off the wall pretty hard. Daniel got bumped off his follow-up off the back wall. Maybe Daniel said he was going to get 2 touches, then he got bumped. Yeah, stop tier. How do you know Crow's thinking about what happens? Direct quote. Hey, man, there's a lot of stuff going on. Lucky we got, the one and only Kronovi here to break it down for y'all. So again, Crow, appreciate you hopping in the booth with me. Absolute pleasure getting to hear your insight to the furthest extent. It's, it's not your standard casting. We're not doing heavy play-by-play and stuff, and I don't want it to be like that. I think it is a scrim at the end of the day. And if we can kind of point out some of the things that they're doing really well, some of the adjustments and stuff, I think all the better. So appreciate you being here, having a good time. I am definitely having a good time. I just like to analyze, how players have really evolved. There's lots of little things that happen during a scrim where someone's like, oh, I'm platinum, and like that guy missed a flip reset. I could totally do better or something. Some people just don't see all the little things that go into like a good Rocket League player and making good Rocket League plays. Shouts to Platinums and the comments you provide. It is it's good content for us, and we appreciate you sometimes. Either way, Rogue up by 2:45 left. Good pressure on the midfield. As Arsenal going to bring this one down, and then a good dribble outside as well. Should be able to apply some pressure. Trying to get a touch on that and pass it back down, but it can't. Rogue very eager to get a touch on the play. Aqua's going to have a rough recovery and a little bit of boom ball here. Minimal boost, but still applies immediate pressure on that third man. Torko plays it well. A good catch and dribble should allow his 2 teammates to get back into the right play.
As it goes back around the corner, and a soft touch. A little bit of a doink there by Taroko to make it awkward, and ends up playing out.
Oh. I don't think he's boost to double touch it, but he tried to make it difficult for Daniel, and Daniel still just boomed that ball completely over Aqua. Now the ball's getting awkward, and you know, you have two players coming in on the wrong side on rotation, and yeah. Gyro just slightly misses his read. It's just so difficult to make a good play on that ball when you're coming in on the wrong side. There's nowhere safe to clear it, and Daniel just lines his pass up to Arsenal.
Yeah, that's an opportunity for Space Station that's being presented. You got two players rotating near post as well. Aqua minimal boost just decides to go backboard, and the other player who's there, who was thinking he was going to sweep through with possession, is like, I can't do anything here, and it pinched out a little bit too far. So really tough save to have to make, and Space Station's able to get one back. As it's going to be Daniel in the backfield. A flip reset, make it 2. Doesn't matter, it kills a bunch of time, and Arsenal with a beautiful fake until it goes back the other way.
Yeah, it was good by Taroko there to cover. You know, he was still around. He noticed that there was a bunch of faking going on, so he was the one that ended up going for the ball instead. SSG really, I can tell they're fishing for like some kind of controlled pass play. They've been playing the ball a little bit side to side. There's good bumps by Ruddles to stop the shot for Gyro. They're really looking to have a few more opportunities to tie this game before the clock starts to really wind down. They're trying to play from like the driver's seat with their touches. They're baiting out some of these bad rogue touches.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of creating space. You know, it may not be the immediate challenge demo heavy Space Station that we know, but you can just look at their possession and the way that they play. Rogue is getting first to the ball, and that's fine. We're going to go into a position to where we know we can capitalize on it, and that's why nothing's really coming from it. But what they're doing really well is you look at how spaced out they are on the field. Every single position is covered, and all it takes is if one of those touches doesn't go perfect, they fly that to the other side of the field. It's a redirect, and most likely an extremely good shot on target. So some adjustments there, but so far Rogue holding it off. Early challenge.
Rogue have been holding up
That's
to
a dangerous spot.
Oh, barely a missed bump on the goalie. Aqua just got out of that. Will SSG get the last few seconds, or is this going to be Rogues clearing the ball?
We'll have to keep it alive. There's a bounce.
Oh, it's up, and it's on Daniel.
He's got full boost.
Can he do it? He got the 50. It's a good stop. Oh, it's still up.
Touch inside.
No
Arsenal playing up high into the corner. Can he get underneath it again? No, it's going to drop to the ground. And of course, we've got a game 7 here, Kenobi.
Wow. You know, Rogue they're barely getting these games. This one was actually a pretty strong start for them. They were up 2-0 off of some great challenges in the midfield, catching Space Station taking a bit too much time. But yeah, the beginning of the series was SSG absolutely dominating, just getting nonstop double touches, flip resets. Rogue seemed to have figured out like where they want to position, and they're doing a good job adapting to take the series all the way.
Lizzie, ready up when we get into game 7 here, chat. A lot of people thinking it could go back and forth, but this is what I want to showcase in these two, is a lot of people see Rogue and say, hey, this is a free dub for Space Station, but it's not always the case. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that may not always translate. Again, these guys are trying to find play styles and creativity. Chrome himself has said, usually it takes 2 to 3 months for us as a roster that's been together to develop and feel comfortable with the new play style. Rainbow by Taroko to get possession back for Aqua. But it is interesting to see not only the like different approaches and some of the things they may be going for, but also just kind of the back and forth. You know, I'm surprised. You know, I think Space Station probably could have taken it if they relied on their heavy like challenge game and demo game. But for them to, like you said, you know, kind of space out, look for that pass and that one touch is something that maybe it's something they're working on. You know, maybe I'm looking too far into it, but it feels
it could
like
be a strategy they want to add to their wheelhouse or something.
Like usually when I look at Space Station, I'm like, all right, instinctually they want to go into this super aggressive demo heavy. We're going to beat you with mechanic and speed. And you saw, you know, the 4 or 5 goal games they were putting up earlier. So here's to see if they go back to that or if Rogue has an answer for it.
Yeah, I do think, you know, their typical is a good enough strategy to beat, you know, really any team in the world. You know, when they do it well, It's nearly unstoppable. Maybe they want to have some more options just in case. Maybe they only do that if they're like peeking. Oh, Arsenal has a free shot. Oh, the fake. Very close.
Yeah, smart play by Arsenal as well. Obviously, everybody sees that opportunity present itself, and he's like, yeah, he's going to blast this on target. Doesn't even matter. Daniel's able to get possession back in the midfield and do it himself.
Yeah, Daniel he's over the challenge, make sure not to get bumped by Taroko, and he pops it over Gyro because he sees the third for Rogue going for boost, and it just, once the ball's over Gyro's head, he's not in the play anymore. It's just good recognition by Daniel that he can follow that up on his own. But back to what you were saying about just teams and playstyles, and it does take months to just find a playstyle that everyone's comfortable with and has good habits built around. I mean, very rarely do teams like pick up a player even, and that person is immediately gelling with the team, you know, the way that everybody wants to play. It's incredibly rare for that to happen. So there's a lot of work that goes on every day for like very small amounts of progress towards a playstyle everyone likes.
Well, I'm happy that these guys on both Rogue, Spacestation giving us the opportunity to take a sneak peek as we get to see them compete this weekend. Regional 3 is that one. Riddle's just, is that coming off a pinch that's just going in?
I think he just got a 50-50 off of this. Oh, he just beat Aqua to the ball.
Oh, and then it bounced off of Aqua and got a little bit extra height too.
Well, SSG are sitting pretty, you know, a nice two-goal buffer in Game 7. Typically, Rogue have done well when they've had the lead, but playing from behind is, oh man.
Oh, you're
Arsenal walking it in too.
Like, this is the Space Station I know. Like, when I'm watching a Michael Bay movie here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why they where this went all the other games, you know, because this obviously works for them.
Yeah, I think it's a different approach, right? Like, by all means, there's money on the line, but, you know, we are trying to get good practice in against a good team. And, you know, maybe winning isn't the end-all to be-all, but gosh, when they do.
Yeah, this is flashbacks to, like, Game 2, Game 3.
Yeah, it's the exact same play. It's a big clear downfield to Arsenal, who hits a perfect double touch. First touch is absolutely pristine off the backboard. His controlled touch off that second is just so pretty.
That was an interesting kickoff by Rogue. I think someone didn't jump into the ball on kickoff as an attempt to like lose it a certain way. I'm always interested to see what kickoff strategies teams come up with, because there's lots of cool different ones you can do, and with how fast everyone can get to the ball now. Because I mean, okay, I'm a bit old, but like speed flipping to the ball on kickoff was not a thing for a very long time. So kickoffs were very basic.
You don't gotta date yourself like that, Crow. Obviously,
yeah.
Like the scrub kickoff, which was just a diagonal dash and then hitting it straight on.
Yeah,
like,
so basic.
It was redefining the esport for.
It was so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, things have come a little bit. It's also crazy to me that some teams don't even have like kickoff strats. They just do what feels right. Space Station is definitely a team, though, that puts a lot of effort into their kickoffs. I know a lot of teams also look at Space Station because of their kickoff strategies. Big brains and a lot of credit going to Chrome. But yeah, it's the only set piece in the game. I think, you know, you try to do some stuff, and a lot of it led back, and a demo should open it up for Gyro.
Demo.
It's a good play by Taroko.
Yeah, great follow through. He wins a 50 and just immediately starts looking.
Yeah, you're down by 4. You got to find something, and a little bit of a risk there with the 2 coming in, but
you just got to send it though. At this point, you know, if you get scored on by overcommitting, like no one's really gonna. Oh, well, there's a kickoff goal, and you know, I think if more teams really focused on their kickoff, it would lead to less kickoff goals, especially in high-level matches. There's nothing, as at least a spectator, more saddening than watching a really close Game 5 or Game 7 and then it's decided by a kickoff goal.
Yeah, kind of weird too on that one. No cheat up where they conceded.
Yeah,
I don't know if they were
maybe
planning
they were
on
expecting to lose it and then the ball
and then,
just
like kick it back, but yeah, completely killed.
Yeah, it can be difficult as well, especially if other teams mix their kickoff up a lot. You don't really know how you should flip into the ball or with what timing. A great challenge by Gyro. I can't finish it though.
Yeah, it's a tough one with him being third man back. He just decides to come in and apply pressure as Aqua trying to go for a 50. Gonna be Daniel on the back end and puts a shot on target, which has to be saved. Final minute of gameplay here.
Daniel's looking for this off the ceiling redirect. Oh, Gyro's there first though.
Just waiting for it.
And he's up. He's pre-jumping.
What are you doing, Daniel?
Oh, and
I mean, I know what you're doing. He still gets a goal.
oh, he's scoring. Yeah, he has not rotated out.
Daniel's
in
gaming. My
30
bad.
seconds.
Yeah, my bad, Daniel. I thought you were a gamer.
That was like he had 12 boosts, and he went for that.
Well, yeah, he spent 70 of it chilling above the backboard. Big lead and having a little bit of fun with it. Trying to find some freestyle type clips to close it out. But Daniel sitting in net. Heart. A little bit of disrespect here, guys.
Oh man, all three of them are in net. Yeah, this is typically how, you know, some scrims can go. If it's like, you know, obvious the game is over, you know, everyone's just kind of chilling.
Playing a PK shootout here in scrims. Thanks, guys. Final 10 seconds, up by 5. Congrats to Space Station on their W. But some different looks, and it's going to end with a rogue goal. Love to see it.
Yeah, honestly, just, you know, it's awesome that it went the distance. I think a lot of people were expecting SSG to just have an easy time sweeping this. A lot of their SSG wins looked very good, but Rogue are no slouch, and they went the entire distance and made some great adaptations along the way.
Yeah, coming back to camera on us, you know, a lot of it, I think, is trying to provide a little bit of evidence that, you know, these teams are making adjustments. It's not always easy to do either, but primarily, like, Rogue giving a lot of things that I'm excited about. Foundationally, there's a lot of things from game 1 to game 7 you see where it's just like the things are there, the pieces are there, but how do we make sure we can recreate those on a regular basis and deal with such a threat of offense like Space Station? When Space Station's playing their game, when they're being aggressive, when they're doing their thing, finding your footing, finding ways to slow it down. Gyro, you start seeing dribbling out of the backfield. He's going for some solo stuff. Aqua is being way more aggressive with his touch. You know, there's little things that you're like, okay, you know, these are things that the previous Rogue did not have. It's different. So I'm glad we're getting some insight on that. I mean, biggest takeaways from you, Kronovi, is there anything that you're like, wow, this team's really good? Any generic stuff, like they scored more goals, or some actual insight?
No, I actually think Rogue's identity has really come alive this split with Aqua, and the more I watch them play, the more I see that identity show itself. When they're under a lot of pressure, they're kind of, you know, they're trying to tread water until they get a moment, but against maybe less aggressive teams or teams that they're just like Rogue are just outpacing, you really see that team play aspect and that trust come out. So I think they're a roster that has the potential to do a lot of damage, and they just need a little bit more time to really gel.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out. If you guys don't know, obviously on Friday we've got our Regional 3. A lot of teams in the running still, 12 in particular, that are going to be fighting for the RLCS, trying to get to the major. Energy is the only one that is locked in their spot, but between Rogue, Oxygen, V1, Envy, Complex, there's a lot of teams that are all fighting kind of for that 5th spot, essentially. While we have expectations of like your G2, your Phases, Space Station, etc., to kind of clutch it up. So there was a lot of teams that are still alive and still trying to fight. It's going to be exciting. I think there's a lot of tiebreaker stuff that, Crow, I don't know if you've ever dived deep into that stuff. It's a lot of math and a lot of spreadsheets. Which I
will probably have to this weekend.
Yeah, I'll send you a link.
The major.
I'll send you a link. But yeah, they Rogue has got FaZe Clan, Envy, and All Mid in their group, and Space Station has Complexity, Torn, and Xset. So that group B, I think, is up for grabs for that like 2-3 spot. I think there's going to be some surprises in that one. So looking forward to it, but also looking forward to the fact that we were able to put this on, and the fact that it came to be, and a lot of the reason why is due to Metafy. If you guys don't know, this has been the Brawl Showmatch put on by Metafy. If you guys don't know what Metafy is, you can check it out at metafy.gg, where if you use code RL25, you can get 25% off of all lessons. Maybe Kronovi's got a little profile in there, and you're like, you know what? I want some one-on-one time with Kronovi. I want him to teach me why I stink at Rocket League. You can go book a session based upon what he may have signed up. You can use that code by the end of tomorrow. You get 25% off. It's an easy way to go and interact possibly with some of your favorite pros and content creators, but also if you're just trying to improve at the game, they've got a lot of cool tools like telestration options, the ability to leave live comments on uploads and replays, a lot of really interesting stuff that they're trying to do to make the ability to grow as a player easier, because not all those tools always exist. So shout outs to Metafy. for not only providing the prize pool and allowing us to put this on, but just being cool supporters of the Rocket League community in general. So cool stuff all around. But with that said, Kronovi, we're done for the day. Appreciate you taking the time to come and hang out. Final words. Anything you got? It's awesome to see you in the booth, providing your giga brain knowledge about the Rocket League game. So floor is yours, my dude.
No, I just want to say like thanks for like letting me just watch some awesome Rocket League and talk about it. I just like Rocket League and the Rocket League community. It's just nice to be here and hang out and get to talk about stuff. It's been very chill. So thank you guys for coming out to watch the Brawl. And it's just awesome that the Brawl is back. You know, I still have some nostalgic moments from playing in the Brawl back when it was.
You won every event. We get it.
That whole format. Yeah, I wanted another chance at it. Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to do a throwback at some point where we can get you to compete with one of your multitude of teams of two sicko cracked kids, where you just play. Because I remember the last one you guys went up against like First Killer and them. It was like First and Friends, like the OG, and you guys are like, what do we do? Like, how do we win? And then you guys did win. So. You never know, man. You never know. But yeah, it's good to bring it back. Again, shout out to Metafy for allowing us to do so. Kronovi, I mean, there's the list. Brawl winners. Kronovi's name is in every other answer because he won.
I had Arsenal and Atomic on my team, okay?
that's a pretty nasty
come on,
team.
how do I lose?
I mean, you guys were going up against First Kill in them, and all of you were like, can we just forfeit? I don't want to play this. So, hey, man, your word's not mine. Either way, chat, we appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you for showing the support. Thank you guys for coming in, tuning in, and watching. Hopefully, we do these more in the future. That is entirely up to Metafy. So, stay tuned. Hopefully, check out all the socials and stuff. Make sure you guys go hit up all these players, show them love and support. Also, hit up Kronovi, Kronovi RL on all his social media. But that's going to do it for us. We appreciate you guys taking the time, and we'll see you next one. Peace.
Yep. Bye, everyone.